Imagine you've been saving every single penny for your dream camera setup. You've spent months watching reviews at 2 a.m. You've compared every spec, every frame rate, and every sensor chart. Finally, you're ready to pull the trigger. But then, you look at the price tag and your heart sinks. Everything just got more expensive. Your dream gear just moved further out of reach. Welcome to 2026. This isn't just another boring year of minor upgrades and firmware patches. This is a year where the entire camera industry is walking straight into a perfect storm. We're facing a global squeeze that is changing the rules of the game. Rising fuel costs, shifting exchange rates, and logistics nightmares are making everything from your morning coffee to a high-end S-line lens cost significantly more. It's a tough environment for Nikon, and let's be honest, it's an even tougher one for our wallets. But here's the twist. Even with these massive headwinds, Nikon is cooking up something legendary. They aren't just trying to survive the storm. They are preparing to own it. Let's talk about the real buzz right now, the ZR revolution. For years, Nikon was seen as the photo-first company. But those days are over. Last year, we got a taste of what Nikon could do with professional video. But the community is currently screaming for one thing, a diet version of Red RAW. Now that Nikon officially owns Red Digital Cinema, the potential is massive. If you've ever worked with Red files, you know they are the gold standard for quality. But you also know they are absolute storage hogs. They eat memory cards for breakfast and expensive NVMe drives for lunch. Most creators simply can't afford the storage workflow required for full Red RAW. But imagine if Nikon uses TickRAW technology to give us a red light codec. We are talking about a file that is half the size, but keeps the breathtaking, filmic color science. If they pull this off, the Nikon Z8 and Z9 become unbeatable monsters in the cinema world. Keep your eyes on the NAB show. While we might see a quick firmware 1.5 update soon, the real heavy hitter is going to be firmware 2.0. We are talking about the features professional cinematographers have been begging for. Anamorphic to squeeze, open gate recording to use every single pixel on the sensor, and advanced waveform tools. Nikon is no longer just making cameras. They are building a complete cinema ecosystem, but we have to address the giant elephant in the room. The question everyone is asking in every forum and comment section: where's the Z9 Mark II? If you look at the clues, all signs point to 2026 being the year of the flagship. Think about this. Nikon recently released updated versions of their Holy Trinity lenses, the 24-70mm and the 70-200mm. When they dropped these, they said something very specific. They mentioned these lenses were designed for hardware that doesn't even exist yet. That is a massive, flashing neon sign. It tells us that EXPEED 8 technology is right around the corner. We are looking at a jump from 10nm processing down to a 4 or 5nm chip. In plain English, that means more processing cores, insane speeds, and almost zero heat issues. They called the original Z9 unstoppable, but the Z9 Mark II is going to be unstoppable times 4. We're talking about autofocus so advanced, it might actually predict where a bird is flying before the bird even knows itself. And here is the best part for those on a budget. When the Mark II drops, the original Z9 will likely stay in the lineup at a massive discount. It will become the best bargain powerhouse on the market. On the lens side of things, the story gets even more interesting. We've seen the basic kit zooms, but we are desperately overdue for modern, high-performance wide-angle 1.8 S-line primes. The current 1.8 lenses are great, but they are starting to show their age when paired with these new high-resolution sensors. We need a 14mm or a 16mm that can keep up with 60 or 100 megapixels. And let's not forget the exotics. The 50mm f/1.2 has been a masterpiece since it launched in 2020, but technology moves fast. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Plena-style version too, that is smaller, lighter, and uses those ultra-fast focus motors we see in the massive $15,000 telephotos. Nikon is also finally bringing those teased cinema lenses to the main stage. They are proving that the Z mount isn't just a photography mount, it's the most versatile mount in history. Now, let's get into the Wildcard territory. This is where Nikon could truly shock the world. What if they drop a mini Red? Imagine a camera called the ZRC, a compact, Super 35 camera with a global shutter sensor, potentially borrowed from the Red Komodo technology. It would be a total curveball. It would be a dream for filmmakers who need that zero distortion look for high-speed action. Or for the wildlife and sports photographers who want more reach. How about AZ500? A stacked sensor APS-C beast. It would basically be a baby Z8 at a price point that normal people can actually afford. I'd give that a 50/50th chance of happening this year. But the camera I am personally rooting for? A digital Nikon SP, a full-frame, rangefinder-style camera with tactile metal dials and a vintage soul. Look at how well Fujifilm is doing with their retro designs. People are tired of cameras that look like plastic computers. They want gear that feels like an instrument. A digital SP with a few dedicated compact retro primes would sell out in minutes. So, what is the bottom line? This financial year is going to be a brutal battle between rising global costs and incredible technological innovation. Nikon is positioning itself to silence every single doubter left on the planet. They aren't just playing catch-up anymore. They are setting the pace. My best opinion on all of this: if you are a professional or a high-end enthusiast, hold your breath. Don't go out and buy a bunch of gear today. Wait for that EXPEED 8 announcement. The leap in processing power is going to be the biggest we've seen in over a decade. It's going to be a tough year for our bank accounts, there is no doubt about that. But from a creative standpoint, we are entering a new golden age. The tools we are about to get our hands on are going to change the way we tell stories forever. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the future of Nikon, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Share this video with your fellow shooters so they don't miss out on these updates, and hit that bell icon so you're the first to know when the next big leak drops. I want to hear from you in the comments. Are you saving your money for the Z9 Mark II? Or are you praying for that retro rangefinder dream? I read every single comment, even the ones that call me crazy. Thanks for watching, keep shooting, and stay wonderful.